One day, I'm in my room and it's September 2023, and I speak with my mom on the phone, and she's angry. And simply because for the past couple days, and even that day, I just don't keep my promises to her. I'm not paying attention to what she says, and I'm agreeing to do this stuff for her, but I can just not seem to fully understand all the requests that she has, and I just don't fully complete the thing, and she gets angry. And I'm thinking, man, when she gets back home, she might give my phone away. She might unplug the internet connection. But of course, I don't want that because, bro, I want to work on my self development stuff. I want to learn. I want to keep working on my business and grow it up. I mean, I don't want to lose all this stuff for a while. Then I just say, man, it's all my fault. And I say, I'm going to fix it. And so I actually go back to my mentors on the internet, on YouTube, and I actually apply what they teach in terms of discipline, becoming a reliable man. And they said, keep your promises to yourself. And that might sound vague, but bro, it wasn't the end of the world, but obviously it was a very bad situation. I felt anxious, I felt like I had low self confidence, low self esteem. And then I just all of a sudden started running in the morning. I started keeping my promises to myself. I started being way more productive and way more disciplined. And I'm amazed at the progress I'm doing. I mean, I thought that, bro, I knew it all. That when in fact, no. I thought I was disciplined. I thought I was productive. I thought I was fully confident and disciplined and all that. But I still didn't keep my promises. But then, as I made this change, I saw this massive improvement in my self confidence. So let me show you what I learned on how to fix this. So, not keeping your promises leads to low self esteem because you just disappoint yourself constantly, and therefore you have a low self esteem, which leads to low confidence and low self trust and self belief. And I'm gonna explain to you why. Oh, and also this because you're not confident, you don't think you can actually keep more promises, so it's a cycle, right? The way all this works is basically because if you don't keep your promises to yourself, you cannot trust yourself, and therefore you don't are not confident. Of course not. Imagine for example, a guy asks you to borrow him $100 for a time, and he says he will pay you back, but he doesn't, and you perhaps forgive him for one time, but this happens again, and perhaps again and again. Would you trust him with a larger sum of money like $1,000 the next time? Of course not. So the point is, bro, and this works with yourself as well. That's what I wanted to also say. And you might say, "Oh, but it's me. How can I not trust myself?" Well, bro, I mean, your subconscious mind registers all this, bro. All these times that you said you will do something but didn't do it, bro. Well, how can you expect to trust yourself the next time? The next, sorry, the next time. And it might sound weird because it's you. How can you not trust yourself? You are in your own body. You know what you want. Yes, sure. But you, for example, said you will go to the gym or go to do that workout or that 5 a.m. run. And guess what? You didn't do it. Well, now what? How can you trust yourself the next time, especially if you have a history of not keeping your promises and of losses? We want to flip it back and create the opposite, bro. A history of wins and keeping your promises. That's how you become more confident, bro. Or at least a part of it. The next part is not what we will really talk about today, but or maybe, but the next part is actually becoming great at something and focusing on something very important that you love. That's what I do, and it also helps with this. But the point is, from all that story and all this cycle, is basically, bro, if you begin to say you're gonna do something and then actually do it, well, bro, you will begin to trust yourself more because you show yourself that you can rely on yourself, right? So when I say something now, right now it's way better because I can actually trust myself way more that, oh, okay, easy, I can get this done. So I trust myself. It's a bit weird to explain. I'm not sure if you understand, but the point is really, even if you know your own intentions and you know that you don't want to lie, you know you actually want to do this thing, you still cannot trust yourself if you don't keep those promises. That's another thing. You gotta be the man. You gotta become the man, and I mean this progress myself. Of you gotta become the man you would listen to. You gotta become the man that you actually needed, and that man keeps his promises. Real man in the past, like let's say when knights and kings and all that were there, but even more recently in the history, bro, men used to actually keep their promises and have this desire to show to people that, bro, you can trust me. I say this, my word is iron, right? So that's what we gotta do. That's what told through the story. I made a system basically that helped me, a blueprint that just allowed me to level up to a whole new stage because of this. And also progress, seeing all this happening also improved my confidence. Also because I'm working on this stuff on YouTube, on becoming better, this also helps with this confidence stuff. So basically, what is even confidence, bro? Confidence is just, it comes from self-trust, and it also comes from getting away from all the other negative emotions. Like Chris Sturmy, if you know him, he also said this one philosophy, like confidence is that emotion that you feel when all the negative ones just, you just eliminate them, because therefore you just become get into a state of just peace and stoicism. It's just confidence naturally. When you get away from all those, that's one thing. And also the second one, which is keeping your promises, bro. So now I want to share with you something very, very interesting. I talked a bit about it, but I want to really show you on board, right? So we have one, a history of not keeping your promises. Leads to your subconscious stacking up, or let's say being aware that you stack up losses. Therefore, you think you are a loser and you feel like one, and therefore is low quality action. Basically, don't keep the promises. That's how it works, in my opinion. But then you have a history of keeping, basically, when I say a history, I just say you remember it, or at least your subconscious remembers all these promises, if you kept them or not, right? How you treat yourself, what kind of standards you do have. And so with time, basically, that's the history. That's what I mean. So a history of keeping your promises. Sorry for my handwriting, but I guess it is what it is. So therefore your subconscious, I'm not even sure if that's written correctly, but whatever. So your subconscious registers, that's better said, registers wins, bro. Therefore you feel like a winner, and therefore high confidence, I mean you begin to have high confidence and high self-trust. That's basically how all this works. You have a history of not keeping your promises of yourself. Your subconscious stacks up losses. Therefore, you feel like a loser and kind of are because of your actions, and therefore you have low quality action, and you have low self confidence, right? Which also lead to you can't even trust yourself, so you just don't even take care of your promises you make in this stage, right? But if you do keep your promises, you begin to create a history in your subconscious of only wins, and therefore you feel and become a winner, and therefore you have higher self-confidence and higher self-trust. So all this is very important. These are basically some few steps that it takes to become more disciplined and more confident and more to have more self-trust, right? So it's not some people say that, oh, self-confidence is just some people have it, some people don't. I mean, that's just stupid. Of course not, bro. I was not like this, bro. I was not like this. I was that kid who literally was crying, bro, on in school when the teachers would say something mean to him, when the classmates would say something mean to him. He would just get embarrassed. He would feel like a loser. He would feel worthless, bro. I was too emotional, bro. I was literally that kid in class and in kindergarten who literally, I think in kindergarten as well, who just cried a lot, man. And I was not confident. I couldn't speak confidently to everyone that I wanted to. And I was just struggling, bro, with that, bro. With social skills also, I was struggling with discipline, with productivity. I was just not getting things done. And I just felt like a loser for bro, for real. With it, in the first few years and perhaps more years of the school time, I literally had an identity, not because I said this, but because of my actions. My subconscious literally registered that, and I had an identity of a loser, emotional, undisciplined individual, unorganized individual, low grades, low self-esteem, low self-confidence, can't keep promises to himself, is not worthy of love, is not worth. You get the point, right, man? I mean, bro, it's so simple. It just comes down to this and to that cycle, which is basically perhaps this. But bro, you get the point, right? So the actionable step you need to take from now on. And by the way, this is not just a challenge. You gotta do this for life. Because you want it or not, your subconscious always registers what you do. I mean, bro, my subconscious registers also this thing that I'm doing right now, teaching you all this important stuff. And this also makes me more confident because I know it's important for the world. Imagine how many people literally will watch this video with time. Perhaps hundreds of thousands, millions, maybe, right? Maybe. Well, imagine that, bro. That's in some countries a whole city full of people. The whole people, the all the people in one city, for example, and just I just give an example, right? And all spread across the globe. Imagine and just watching just one video. And this, because I know this work is important, I also become more confident. And I know this, I know, and I'm also confident in this that it will work because this is what I done, bro. This is what I done to fix it, bro. I mean, bro, if you relate to what I just told you with those stories, man, this will save you. But you gotta be careful also. Because there's another thing. When you start keeping your promises, being more promises, you become more confident, but then you just start taking more promises. I mean, start giving yourself more promises, giving yourself more promises, and many times you might just forget about some. forgetting your promise to yourself something, and therefore not keeping the promise. Again, sorry for my handwriting. Promise, and therefore lower confidence. Ah, man, lower confidence. So, bro, the mistake I've done also is that I just took on board way more when I was at the point of I became way more confident with this because I began back then to keep way more promises for myself. Well, bro, I began to feel that okay, I can take on board more. I can actually trust myself now. But the trap is that you begin to give yourself more promises which you forget about. And then when you remember them that you said you will do that thing by that time, it just oof, it hits hard again, especially if you hit that exposure first of all, which is amazing. But the point is, I mean, to hit that exposure. I mean, not the forgetting about the promise. But bro, when you remember that you didn't do that promise, when it comes back to your mind that, oh man, I missed that one. And it is not just as simple as, oh, I missed that one. You actually feel really bad, bro. Especially if you were at this height, get to this height, this exposure of what's possible and how it's possible to feel and be. It's amazing, man, this height. But then you just forget about a promise and you just go back here. And man, you feel so bad. I literally had moments where I was angry. I was pissed. I was pissed, bro. I couldn't dude, I couldn't sleep. I couldn't just stay straight. I was just angry, full angry with this stuff. To the point in which I needed to show myself that I have full self control. So I went on a just on a 3 day or 4 day social media fast, and I did it successfully. And I showed myself that I can do it. But the point is that, bro, make sure. Oops. The point is that, bro, make sure that when you say to yourself you're gonna do something, make sure that you don't say that to a thing that is you might forget or do too late. I mean, sure, with dreams, with goals, sure, you will remember them because they're important for you because they're aligned with emotion. But with other things that are perhaps not as important, you will probably forget a lot of them, bro. Maybe even all. That's the point. And when you forget that you was about to do that thing, bro, man, you just don't keep the promise, are you? So you said you'll do that thing, but then just forget about it. Boom, self-confidence goes lower. And you might say, oh, just put it on calendar. Yeah, sure, that can help with for a lot of people perhaps. But for many guys like us, bro, we just forget about the calendar itself, bro. We just don't even look at the schedule. We just forget we even had one, bro. But yeah, 100% have a calendar. But the point is, be more careful of this, bro. Basically, don't say promises if you don't know for sure that you will remember to execute on that thing and deliver, right? So the better way to do this with things that you are not super passionate and have a super big positive emotion about, because those things you remember them better because they're aligned with emotion, and also how you remember certain memories better. But then with these things that you have no emotion attached, you need to do them, or you said you will do them. Well, bro, say you're gonna do something when you're about to actually do it, because one, that improves the confidence either way, because you deliver on the promise, but also that way you make sure that you actually remember to get it done because it's right before this right. So basically that way you just make sure you don't fall into this trap, right? So into this trap. So you start keeping your promises to yourself and become more confident, and you think you can start getting yourself into more promises. But the point is, the problem is forgetting that sometimes that you promised yourself something, you forget about certain promises, and therefore you don't complete them. And therefore, when you realize that you didn't complete them in time, you just lower your confidence. That's the point. So as I said, use that tool to skip this entirely and remember the cycle. Take notes on this, bro. You can go on the video back and just take a few key notes, bro. Just write the systems and that's it, right? You don't need to script this video word for word. Now anyway, if you want more help with this and a even more bulletproof system for all this and how to turn it into a habit to not forget about giving yourself promises, well, bro, you can get on my coaching program. For the first, guys, is free. I want to do a test with it and see how it is, because bro, I know this stuff works. This helped me a lot, man. This is insane, bro. You cannot just learn about this. You actually gotta implement it and actually turn it into a habit to not forget about giving your promises in general, right? Because I forgot about it, or I was scared that, oh man, will I be able to keep this promise? But the thing is, there's a two key golden tip that I can teach you on my program on how to make all this into a habit. So that's very important. If you want to, the first link in the description. If not, either way, I hope you got great value. Remember to share this video with a lot more people because they probably need this as well, bro. And remember, we're limitless because we never peak if we so choose to. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.
I keep on working, got purpose and worth. Music's my cure and this world is my purse. Get rid of this curse with every verse. Of course I've been hurt, but some have been much worse. Leave me alone, get out of my head. Block out the opinions until I am dead. They all go to sleep, but you listen instead. Listen some more and you'll cease to regret. I keep on working, I got it on track. You gonna see my name up on the flag. I sail the ship and I'll never come back.